Imagine building your entire defense around a once-in-a-generation pass rusher. He's young, he's dominant, he's basically unblockable. And then you just give him away. Not for another superstar, not for a king's ransom, but for a package of picks and some future flexibility. Cowboys fans, does that sound familiar? Because we've seen this kind of future flexibility excuse before, and it almost never works out. So today, we're breaking it all down. Why the Cowboys made this shocking move, how the Packers pulled off the heist of the century, why this could haunt Dallas forever, and whether this trade might actually be worse than the infamous Herschel Walker deal. Micah Parsons, the untouchable star. Let's start with the obvious. Micah Parsons was supposed to be untouchable. Drafted in 2021, he wasn't just good, he was historic. His rookie season? Defensive Rookie of the Year. He racked up sacks like they were going out of style. By year 2, he was already being compared to legends. Lawrence Taylor, Derek Thomas, Von Miller. And Cowboys fans didn't just see him as another piece. They saw him as the piece. The guy who could finally push Dallas over the hump after decades of playoff disappointment. The leader of America's team's next era. So how do you go from that to shipping him off to Green Bay? The trade breakdown. Here's the trade that blew up the NFL world. Packers receive Micah Parsons, the franchise pass rusher every GM dreams of. Cowboys receive 2 first-round picks, a third, and a couple of role players. Now sure, on paper, Dallas got value. But let's be real, draft picks are lottery tickets. Micah Parsons is a proven jackpot. It's like selling your Lamborghini for scratch-offs. Yeah, maybe one of them hits. But most of the time, you're just left holding useless pieces of paper while somebody else speeds away in your dream car. Why did Dallas do it? This is where it gets tricky. Because Cowboys owner Jerry Jones isn't exactly known for his patience. Some insiders say it was all about money. Parsons was about to demand a massive contract extension. We're talking record-setting money for a defensive player. And Jerry didn't want to cough it up. Others think it was ego. Parsons had become bigger than the team, and the Cowboys have always been a franchise where the star on the helmet is supposed to shine brighter than any single player. But let's be honest, Dallas trading away a generational talent in his prime? That's a move you regret for decades. Green Bay's masterstroke. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, Packers fans are celebrating like it's 1997 again. Think about this. They already have a young QB in Jordan Love who's starting to look legit. They've got one of the deepest wide receiver groups in the league. Their secondary is stacked with talent. And now, they add Micah Parsons to a defense that was already sneaky good? That's terrifying. This isn't just a trade. This is a statement. The Packers just told the league, we're not rebuilding. We're reloading. And the scariest part? Parsons is only 25. That means the Packers might have just locked up their next offensive leader for nearly a decade. Flashbacks to the Herschel Walker trade. Now, some of you younger fans might not remember this, but back in 1989, the Cowboys pulled off what many call the greatest trade in NFL history. They sent Herschel Walker to the Vikings, got a mountain of draft picks, and built a dynasty out of it. But here's the catch. That trade only worked because Dallas had a genius coaching staff and knew how to use those picks. They turned them into guys like Emmitt Smith, Darren Woodson, and other core pieces of the '90 Super Bowl teams. Now fast forward to today. The Cowboys are on the other side of history. They gave away their superstar, and they're betting on draft picks. The difference? Jerry Jones hasn't exactly been making dynasty-building moves lately. So instead of history repeating as a win, this could repeat as an epic failure. The fallout in Dallas. Cowboys Nation is already melting down. Social media is flooded with reactions like, "This is the dumbest move since letting Jimmy Johnson walk. Jerry just ruined my childhood all over again. I'm done with this team until they fire everybody." And honestly, who can blame them? The Cowboys defense without Parsons goes from elite to just meh. Sure, they still have Trayvon Diggs, they still have DeMarcus Lawrence, but let's be real, none of them strike fear the way Parsons does. Opposing quarterbacks slept with one eye open knowing Parsons was out there. Now, they're probably sleeping like babies. What this means for Green Bay. Packers fans, you just got a golden ticket. Pairing Parsons with Rashawn Gary? That's a nightmare for offensive lines. That's not just pressure, that's destruction. Think about playoff football. Cold weather, Lambeau Field, and a defense built to dominate. That's the formula Green Bay rode in the Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers years. And now Jordan Love doesn't even need to be Rodgers-level great to win games. He just needs to be good enough because the defense can carry the load. This trade might actually make Green Bay the most balanced team in the NFC overnight. Hypothetical scenarios. What if? Let's play a little game of what if. What if the Cowboys never make it back to the NFC Championship without Parsons? Will this trade be the turning point fans look back on in pain? What if the Packers win a Super Bowl within the next 3 years with Parsons leading the defense? Does this trade become the new Herschel Walker, but this time in reverse? And what if one of those draft picks the Cowboys got ends up being a total bust? That's when it officially becomes the worst trade ever. Lesser-known connections. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Parsons actually grew up a Green Bay fan. He loved watching Clay Matthews rec games for the Packers defense. So in a weird, full-circle way, this trade almost feels like destiny. The Cowboys might have drafted him, but Parsons was always meant to wear green and gold. And you better believe the NFL loves this storyline. Cowboys versus Packers is already one of the league's most historic rivalries. Now it just got personal. Wrapping up. So here we are. The Cowboys gave up their golden ticket. The Packers stole generational talent. And NFL history might have just been rewritten in front of our eyes. Is this officially the worst trade ever? Maybe not yet. But if Parsons turns the Packers into a powerhouse while Dallas fades into mediocrity, oh, you better believe this will go down as the new Herschel Walker. So Cowboys fans, let me ask you this. Are you ready to suffer through another decade of what could have been? And Packers fans, are you ready to watch Micah Parsons become the face of your defense for the next 10 years? Because love it or hate it, this is the trade that's going to define two franchises. What do you think, guys? Did the Cowboys just make the dumbest move in NFL history? Or do you actually believe those draft picks will turn into something special? Let me know in the comments. And if you're a Packers fan, tell me how many Super Bowls you think Parsons is about to bring to Green Bay. And hey, if you thought this was wild, wait until you hear about some of the other crazy trades NFL teams almost made but backed out at the last second. Trust me, some of those would have blown your mind.